Craftsman tools. I started with Craftsman tools back in the late 70s when I started working on my cars. They were affordable. Snap-ons were very expensive for me. And when I was starting to buy my tools, I was buying certain tools per week. I had a little part-time job after school. I really didn't make a lot of money, so I would buy a little bit of tools each week. And that's how I built my collection up. I was buying these sockets, standards. They came in a metal case holder, standard, and then I was buying the metric because my dad started buying the metric cars, like the Datsuns and Hondas and stuff, and they had metric tools, and he wanted me to work on his car, so I had to go out and buy metric tools, which all my cars were standard. So my first experience with Craftsman, I went and I bought my sockets and the ratchets. This is a very old ratchet, flex head. I use this for my spark plugs. I don't know how many spark plugs I put in cars with this tool. USA made. So anyway, I bought my socket set. It was the standard. It was this one, standard set. And I was working on the car and the socket cracked. I probably should have used an impact socket, but I didn't really know too much about working on cars of a certain tool. So anyway, the socket snapped. I think it was a 9/16. 5/8, this one here, 9/16. It snapped. It cracked. So I was out yelling in the yard, and my buddy, which I still know today, I knew him since I was 6 years old, he come out and he goes, "What are you yelling about? What's the matter?" And I says, "I just went to Sears and I bought myself my first tool set, and its socket broke. It cracked." So he yells over, he goes, "Is it Craftsman?" I says, "Yeah." He goes, "Go take it back to Sears, they'll give you a new one." I says, "They are? They really do that?" So anyway, I take my car up to Sears. It was up the highway. I had to use my dad's car. And I walked in. I had the receipt because I just bought it a couple hours ago. And the old guy was at the desk and he goes, "Can I help you?" I says, "Yeah." I says, "I just bought my first tool set. And it snapped. It snapped. The socket cracked." So he took the socket and threw it in a box underneath the counter. And he says, "Young man," he says, "go back there and get yourself a brand new socket." And he was smiling. So I says, "Okay." So I took up the socket up to him. He put it in a bag and stapled it, and he wrote something on the thing like exchange or something. And he says, "Young man," he says, "anytime one of our tools break, you bring it right back here and we give you a new one." I says, "Wow, I never knew that with Craftsman." So he got me a new socket. So I've been buying Craftsman tools for years. They're affordable, and if they do break, they are replaced. So after that, after this first socket set, I started buying more sockets and more tools and ratchets. Got this flex head. It's kind of new. It was a new style. And the wrenches. All the Craftsman wrenches. Forged in the USA. All the new stuff is made in China. And it's very lightweight. And the idea with them is they're always a replacement for Sears. Sears is not in business anymore. So you have to go to Lowe's. Ace Hardware sells these, Craftsman's. But Lowe's will not exchange the Craftsman tool if you didn't buy it there, which is, I don't know, that policy. So you would have to call Craftsman up direct and probably ship it back to them. But these are some Craftsman tools that I bought. But they're good for the do-it-yourselfer, not a professional mechanic, and they get the job done.